She had spread her legs from sea to shining sea, set up shop on every street corner where she had stood, and turned every home where she had hung her hat into a brothel. I'm not sure if she was a good girl gone bad, or a bad girl gone good, but one moment with her could easily force any man to reconsider, or rather redefine, their vision of heaven. Often of late I had wondered when I would behold the mask of the Muse, and which of 10,000 faces would appear behind it. Considering how it all began, I am amazed that I did not see it coming. Cinco de Mayo, the Day of the Dead. It was a great awakening. Across the room a woman smiled. At first I did not recognize her. Over the eons I had known her by many names: Calliope, Cleo, Euterpe, Thalia, Urana, Jennifer, Jessica, Morgan, Misery. Today she would make herself known to me. Today she called herself Lilith. Her eyes were pathways to paradise, or perhaps a parkway to despair that traversed a landscape littered with broken dreams and lost horizons. What visions of peace and serenity beckoned my footfall? Be still, my beating heart. This audio blog is not about lofty ideals. It is not about the environment in the rainforest. It is not about poverty in the children. It is not about the ozone layer. This audio blog is about love, lust, larceny, lunacy. It is about the divine madnesses, which, like the arms of Cervantes' great windmill, can cast you unto the stars or unto the mud. Lilith, in the Pit of Poseidon, an audio blog by T. Crawford Crawford. In dedicating this audio blog CD, I am reminded of the lyrics from a song done by the Mamas and the Papas in the 1960s. The lyric goes as follows: life will never be exactly like we want it to be. Those words being said, this is dedicated to the one I love. The preface. Although this book is written in an allegorical fashion, it is a non-fiction work. Every bit of it is true. On Lost Innocence, what is it about wayward and wanton women, witches and waifs, that make me fall so madly and passionately in love? There must be some madness or obsession from my distant past that prompts me to this insanity. Where is the purity and the innocence that I have lost ever so long ago? Recently someone, a lady friend, asked why I continue to view the world through the eyes of a very jaded child. She asked what event in my life could ever have led me to the lifestyle that I live. It was an honest question, and when such is presented openly to me, I try to provide an honest answer. So I reflected upon it, and suddenly was hit by a distant memory. It was the memory of a movie I had seen in my ever so early teens. I remember the moment vividly now. Aldo Ray was playing a soldier in a war movie. He had been badly, or rather fatally, shot numerous times and was sitting propped up against a tree. His company had to move on to complete their mission, and out of necessity had to leave him behind. After the men had stoically walked past, saying their cheerful goodbyes, the commanding officer, the sergeant, stayed behind for a moment to have a heartfelt chat with the dying soldier. He gave him a cigarette and asked if there was anything else he needed. Aldo Ray, playing the dying soldier, you remember, boldly and bravely responded, "No, Sarge, you go on and don't worry about me." The sergeant, after a moment's reflection, asked, "Are you sure?" "In the pink, Sarge, in the pink." These were the dying soldier's last words, the last words ever to be spoken by this brave and valiant soldier. So there you have it. Who the hell writes this stuff anyhow? What mystic philosopher puts pen to page for such a purpose? That day I lost my innocence. The stark realization came upon me. From cradle to grave, in the pink was the preferred state of man. From that moment on, I set out upon my writing career and living a lifestyle of blatant bohemian debauchery. That being said, let me now pass along a conclusion that my lifestyle has taught me. At times I have tried and failed. At other times I have tried and succeeded. At times in my life I have been famous, and at other times in my life I have been infamous. Through all of this, in reflection, I find that life can be a whole lot of fun. Many a grand and luxurious hotel provide their customers with a white terry cloth robe. Now, I have never been a white terry cloth robe kind of person. I would much rather wrap myself in the warmth of a woman in a hotel room than in a white terry cloth robe. When leaving any given hotel, I would much rather take the memory of a night of passion with me than a white terry cloth robe. I would rather steal the heart of a woman in any given hotel than steal a white terry cloth robe. I guess it is just me. I would rather have a luxurious woman than a white terry cloth robe. I would rather have a soft woman than a soft robe. I would rather have a woman that will dry my tears and ease my pain, rather than a white terry cloth robe which will only dry my body. I would rather be engulfed in the soft caress of a loving woman's arms than in a luxurious white terry cloth robe in a luxurious hotel. The Poem and the Pearl. In the arms of insanity sleeps the fool, for I am no more than dust and rust, drawn unto earth only as a matter of cosmic coincidence by the force of gravity. She is the ether, ever wafting between wind and wave, alighting only momentarily to stand between the rose and the rainbow. She is a girl, a lady, a woman, a songstress, and a chanteuse. Damn those French, they have a different word for everything. She is in need of nothing, yet still she walks alone seeking something. What does one write to such a girl, to such a lady? What does one give to such a woman, a songstress, and a chanteuse? Ever hovering, alighting only momentarily to stand between the rose and the rainbow. What does one write? For I have only my words. Perhaps one day they will be read. I possess only one gift that was born of the sea, in the wake of the wind and wave. Maybe one day it will be worn by she that alights for only one moment to stand between the rose and the rainbow. A poem and a pearl. The Calling. Moon whisper calls, and I beckon, for unto me she confides the secrets of the sky song. Prolonged breath mists the horizon as her voice is heard by the turtle dove. What history, magic, and science have those eyes beheld? What knowledge long past? Again Moon Whisper cries out, and this time Calliope calls to answer with songs melodious and sweet. What magic ensues when moon and music meet? Time and tide no longer hold sway over this mist-enshrouded universe. Dance and drama join us as do rhyme and reason. We love with poetry and prose as we dance with delight in the darkness, for only the moon and the mists hold reign over magic and muse. Food for thought. For one to venture into the philosopher's garden without the stone philosophical is insanity of the highest order. For the name of the rose is always comedy, and even the gods themselves laugh at the fool who walks on less than solid ground. If one could see through the earth on which they stand, viewing without obstruction from pole to pole, they would surely go mad, for to see nothing is to realize everything. And the weight of that realization would surely crush the spirit, if only by the gravity of the situation. I think, therefore, I think I am, should have been the proof, the answer, the joke. What does it matter in the long run which came first, the chicken, the egg? Who the hell cares when the waitress asks, will that be scrambled or fried? In truth, if you wish to consider the nature of the universe, eat the egg, eat the chicken, and allow the oyster to be the food for your thought. Twilight is when the ancients walk roads long forgotten, paths that carry the life's blood of the universe. They follow the energy coursing through the veins of this planet we call Earth. Others are dust and rust, drawn unto this planet by the force of gravity and cosmic coincidence. The ancients, however, walk in the mists. They travel by night, flying without borders or boundaries, seeking each other, drawn unto each other. They meet at the crossroads where the past and the present and the future stand awaiting the dragon's breath. They look into each other's eyes, they smile, and they walk on content in the knowledge that others of their ilk exist and travel the same roads, seeking the same thing. Their paths shall cross again, for they are drawn by nature to the precipice of science and sin, or qualm and conscience. They follow with footfoil loyal to the quest. They follow the endless highways and byways, cosmically connecting the essence to the ether, the rose to the rainbow, the poem to the pearl, unto the end of days. On shores afar, I stare longingly at blue shoes, red lips, and a leopard dress. Her eyes are delightful stars in the darkness of the room. My eyes are transfixed upon her as she stares only at the white plum blossom, the drink of her choice. Her laughter is marvelous, mysterious, and melodic. Sunshine lies behind her smile. Another man wants her, but she is unimpressed. Her brown eyes caress only the white plum blossom, and her soul longs only for that which lies before her. She caresses it, licks her lips, and tenderly kisses the glass that holds the object of her desire. God, I want her. She drinks deeply of the elixir and closes her eyes. She has beheld the Gorgon and now dreams of infinity and divinity. In her mind she dances the lambada with both deity and demon. She opens her eyes, a fallen angel in a leopard dress, with blue shoes and red lips that I long to kiss. Another man looks at her and smiles. The goddess has spoken. They leave and they love. Miracles happen for those that believe in halos, hellions, and whores. Tonight I sleep alone, but I smile as I drift off unto that sleep, knowing that one day soon our paths will cross again. That day I shall gently take her hair, pulling it slightly, exposing the neck that I long to kiss. I will savagely and passionately press my lips against it, then gently nibble upon her ear. Finally, I will look deep within her eyes and see clearly the soul that lies within this woman afar. Each heartbeat will bring us closer and closer, merging to the rhythm of the waves upon the sand. We shall become one with the heartbeat of the universe. Buttons and bows will not stand between us, for if we do not remove our clothing quickly, it will burst into flames from the heat of passion. Like Icarus, I fly towards the sun on waxen wings destined to melt. I become a fallen angel, but this night we shall fall together unto paradise. To the Muse, isn't it amusing? In the darkness I beheld the light in her eyes. In the light I beheld the darkness in her soul. It made me smile. I thanked her and walked away, hoping and praying that she would follow. When muses meet, it is inspirational. When muses meet, it is amusing. We shall pamper each other with the pain of pleasure, the hope of despair. I say softly beneath my breath, thank you. You know who you are, and I advise you to say you're welcome. Body and soul from this moment on are united. Neither had a choice. Neither had a chance. We are slave and master. We are love and lust. We are light and darkness. We are one. No chance, no choice. For we are the dragon's breath at the crossroad of life, creating rainbows in the night. We stand motionless, awaiting that which is to come, knowing that all we need is standing before us, each other, two muses, alone in the night, alone in the darkness, alone in the light, face to face, eye to eye, souls entwined. We smile, we laugh, we burn with passion, we ache with pain and pleasure. Two muses in the night, two muses creating light, amusing the fates that have brought us together. I thank them and advise her to do the same. You know who you are. You know what I seek. Nothing more, never more, as long as you stand beside me. Again I whisper under my breath, thank you. She hears, she smiles, she obeys. She who stoops to conquer, she who came upon a rainbow in the night, a rainbow created by the light in her eyes and the darkness in her soul. Circe. Last Sabbath I supped with Circe, And although enchanted by her, my footfall hearkens to the song of another siren, a rapturous and ravenous melody, with hair golden as the moon and stars, eyes as blue as the sky itself, and a smile as radiant as the name she was given, Sunshine. Another place, another time, another stranger in a strange land, seeking only the dream of Coyote Ugly, a face, a shape, a mask, and a muse. Belladonna, take flight, as my heart will follow and soar with reckless abandon. I move forward, more than a mushroom and less than a messiah. What does it take to make the music? What does it take to pluck the heartstrings of love? Is it poetry or the sound of a hummingbird in flight? What makes it happen? Noisy breaths that vibrate and resound unto nothingness? What rhythm shall move the heart, and what beat shall motivate the soul? I stand on the edge of yesterday and on the verge of tomorrow. She stands between heartache and heartbreak, calling me with the sweet songs of a sailor's siren. My soul and my spirit are dashed upon the rocks of indifference, but my heart survives, battered and bruised, but nonetheless beating and intact. Her laughter echoes throughout the universe until the end of days. I hear it and smile. God, I love her. Standing in the mists, she smiles and gracefully bends towards me, stooping on one knee. She touches my cheek, making me whole again. She has lifted me from my bed of tears. I join her in her song, calling softly and beckoning quietly. Let those who have ears hear. Let those who have eyes see. Let those who seek love come, for the rocks await. Tie yourself not to the mast, nor plug thy ears with beeswax, for the love that calls is not for the faint of heart nor the meek of spirit. It calls only for you. Embrace the adventure and hearken to the siren's song. Packaged and sold. No great wealth is ever amassed without a great crime. But what of great love? Where does great love begin? Within a fantasy? Where does love bloom? Within the mind or within the heart? Does it burn within the soul? What is this thing called love? Does it happen, live, and die between a poem and perhaps a football game? Is love to be found in the beating of the heart or the sound of the waves upon the shore? Is it to be found in the eyes of a stranger? If I could package that which I have seen this day in her eyes and her smile, the world would beat a path to my door to purchase it. The man in the car, the man on the street, corporate executives in their penthouses, even the homeless beggar panhandling would part with his pennies to stand on line and purchase that which I have seen in her eyes. What then would be left for me, though? What then would be left to share with the one that loves? What would remain when the vision is packaged and sold? Would her heart remain intact? Would her aura diminish? Would her smile still smile when taken from her face and packaged and sold? Would she still or ever love me? Edgewalkers. In the land of the night, the ship of the sun is drawn by the grateful dead. I prefer to remain in the night, in the darkness. Become my darkness. I want it. I need it. I demand it, and I will possess it. I will explore its essence, and together the darkness and I shall reshape the illusions of destiny projected by the mundanes and mortals. The fates have opened a door. I run to it, and I care not what lies beyond. Another stands before an open door at the other end of this unexplored passage. The universe has conspired to open the doors for two such as ourselves. Shall we stand there? That is not the way of darkness. Darkness permeates all and eclipses all in the garden of good and evil. I have called, and you will answer, either with silence or submission. I behold the nature of your being. It is the nature of darkness. We shall walk together, each at times leading and following, as our spirits demand. I have spoken the truth, and know that when worlds merge, there is much to explore. There are always two sides to each coin, but there is also a rim, a thickness that separates them, an edge. I am an edge walker, tenderness and terror, duality and dualism. Joined, there shall be four sides, too light, too dark. Let the dark sides face each other, explore each other, while exposing the light sides to the world at large. 2 edges, 4 sides, 2 edge walkers, each dominating, each dedicating, each leading, and each following as needed. Passion and intensity, dedication and deliverance. I long to dance in the twilight. I long to dance in the darkness, free to lay aside freedom that each may submit and serve. Neither monster nor madman, let the master and the mistress become the hunter and the huntress. A day of darkness. Serious Sappho, sensuous vamp, it matters not to me. Since my earliest days I have known that trapped inside me is a 30-year-old lesbian screaming to get out. It is a world of duality, male-female, light-dark, love-lust, pain-pleasure, joy-sorrow, sinner-saint. What do these things matter within the boundless expanse of space and time? Without one there is no other. We sip and sup of them from the same well, from the same plate, with the same spoon. What does it matter if one day the taste is bitter, for on another day it shall be sweet? One does not deny that which they need for fear. This is not a world for the faint of heart or the meek of spirit. If they deny themselves what they need, they are fools. You call out, I appear. I call out, you walk towards me. Cuckoo Kachu, how can this not be ordained by the goddess of good and evil? We are born seekers, soaring souls chasing fleeting glimpses of the gargoyle and the godhead long gone past. They flee, we chase. I call, you come. No one need fear a hunter when all he seeks is a huntress. Still, when they meet, the world is again a jungle, and humanity their prey. Be afraid, be very afraid. Pray for salvation as lust and lunacy become the huntress and the hunter. They laugh, they love, they howl and bay at the moon in defiance. Let it be known that all who cross their path are damned and doomed. Abandon ye all hope. The web is spun, the die is cast. Send yourself flowers. Darkness, look upon your work. Look upon what you have created. Second for second, minute for minute, muse for muse. Isn't it amusing? I reach out my hand and call. You come and take it. It is done. It is ordained. Cuckoo Kachu. One should always beware the darkness, but keep it close. Often it is good to keep friends close and enemies closer. Embrace that which you should fear. Know it, love it, and above all respect it. Like fire, it is a powerful friend, but a deadly enemy. One can easily become lost in the darkness unless one's soul and spirit burns brighter than the sun. People fall into darkness oft-times out of despair. They allow it to absorb them, taking solace in the faceless nature of it. Long have I lived as a creature of the night. Long and often have I walked its path, feeling the pains and pleasures offered by it. To be a night dweller, one must conquer the sun, for the sunshine is needed to grow that which we require to survive. We must learn to walk by moving in the shadows. We must reap and sow in the twilight. It is a curse for those that hide in their own shadows, for they shall never see the sun. I am a seeker of the night. I lust for the darkness. She is a cruel and heartless mistress, deep with delights unimaginable, delights and talents acquired and mastered over lifetimes, centuries untold and limitless. Still, trapped, or rather locked within her breast is a woman crying in terror, a woman that all wish to acquire. This is the woman that the mistress of darkness cherishes, hides, and protects. This is the woman that she has feigned the kill and forged the illusion for. This is the woman she covets, imprisons, hates, and takes childlike delight in. I know this child, for I have watched her grow, and stood by helplessly as the wolves ravaged her soul. I shed tears for her, and tried to comfort her to no avail. That is why I worship and walk with the Queen of Darkness, for she protects the ones that I hold dear. We are the gatekeepers and the keymasters, the guardians that stand at the gates of the garden of good and evil, darkness and light, love and lust. What poems lie behind the dark girl's eyes? To what depths does her void plummet? When her mind soars, what vistas does it see? The black pools of her eyes recognize, like the merlin in flight, no borders, no boundaries, no limits. I know her. Another girl with another smile sits next to her. This one is shallow but polite. There is no truth behind her eyes, those mirrors to her soul. Another girl, another woman, sits watching football. What passions are locked within her heart? Red wine, red lips. I wonder if her heart is black and empty. Does passion rule or complacency prevail? What colors does her eyes see upon closing? I float in the darkness, watching and waiting. This one is special. She shall feed my chosen sweetly. This night even the universe listens for her heartbeat, and it trembles. I shall bring her to darkness. I shall give her to darkness. I want her, but she is not destined to be mine. Her hand gently touches her throat as she tilts back her head. Her tongue passes across her lips. Slight pain and pure ecstasy cross through her body as her fingers reach the place where he had kissed her. Softly she moans and lets her hand fall to her breast. Her heart pounds, but she knows it is not her heart. It shall never again be her heart. It shall never again be her breast. For her body, her heart, her mind, and her soul will soon belong to the night and the sisterhood of the stars. Bring me unto the darkness. That is what I desire. That is what I deserve. She throws open wide the window and steps onto the ledge, arms spread wide, embracing the night and the abandon that accompanies it. She swoons as the mists engulf that which was once her spirit. She falls, is caught, and is uplifted unto her essence. The pleasure explodes in every atom of her body, and she is free. She pleads for the night. She longs to be given unto the darkness, for that is her fate. That is her destiny. She opens her eyes and beholds darkness. Fear overcomes her, but she nonetheless kneels before the sisterhood of the stars and bears her beauty before them. Her past is nothingness. Her future is unknown, but she shall give herself to the sisterhood. She shall feed them, and so be fed by them. She is inhaled by them. She becomes them. Through the mirror she falls onto the table of fate. Alabaster skin glistens as she dreams. What visions dance within the mind of this angel? Fallen or otherwise, my heart hastens to her, and my footfall shall follow, at first cautiously and quietly, then finally with the speed of wild abandon. I have to touch her. I need her. I must feel her kisses. I long to hearken to her heartbeat, to know what lies and truths are locked behind her eyes, those eyes ever calling, ever beckoning towards the mystery that lies within her soul, which prevents her from feeling and giving love. I am terrified for her as she stands on the abyss far beyond the fires of passion and atop the cliffs of indifference. God forgive me, I love her. God forgive me, I need her. Has ever such a woman from womb of this earth been born, been wooed, been won? Have any that have ever crossed her path and looked into her eyes not gone mad with desire? I shall follow this March hare down the rabbit hole, knowing full well that I shall never again be the same, knowing full well that I shall never again know the wonder and love among mundanes. This Maria has blown me unto the stars. This pretty poison has bewitched me, imprisoned me, and enslaved me. Why, dear God, do I now feel so free? Fallen angels, hearts entwined, branded with the mark of Cain as our red badge of courage. Must we bathe in the blood of the wise and the wicked, then rinse our bodies with our own tears? Is it not enough to be tempted by the flames of passion and the salt of indifference? Must we fly hand in hand unto the heavens in defiance of all that is holy and unholy, holding on only to each other and the dream of a better tomorrow? For if God will not stand with us and the devil will not stand for us, there is no choice. We shall go it alone. She is the most beautiful of all fallen angels, and perhaps the most deadly. What horrors haunt her nightmares? What visions terrified her so? To even wonder for a moment boggles the mind, for she has beheld the face of the Gorgon and survived, where lesser creatures have turned to stone or went mad. The lucky ones have died outright where they stood. Perhaps the gods had a grander plan. They say that when a fallen angel completes their task, they are given back their wings. She and I are the same, both fallen angels, both fallen from the grace of the gods. We now lie next to each other over great distance, sleeping but not touching, caring but not feeling, living but not loving. What lies beyond the door of lust? Will love in defiance of all that is holy and unholy allow us to fly? I have come to realize that love and lust are the divine madness that manifests the earthly insanity known as sex. It allows each and all of us to experience that which is divine. I guess Shaw knew of which he spoke when he said, "There is a pleasure sure to being mad that only a madman shall know." Tragically enough, Einstein also knew. The harshest insanity of all is to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome. Today I am not sure if I am mad, insane, or simply in love. Today is not about love, lust, larceny, lunacy, sun, sex, or even spaghetti. Today it is about a smile. Today it is about the darkness that has engulfed my universe and the emptiness that has claimed my soul. Today it is about the friend that I never got to know, a voice I never got to hear, the music of heartstrings untouched and unplayed, a cosmic symphony tragically unwritten. Today it is about the tragedy of destiny. It is about words unspoken and hearts afraid of being broken. Soon it will no longer be about roses and rainbows or even tears and fears. In the end, it will just be about you and me, about a tomorrow that never came. Tomorrows become yesterdays all too quickly, as hopes and dreams turn into dust and rust. Seconds turn into minutes, and minutes add up to decades gone by. In the days to come, because you did not say why not, I will spend a lifetime asking why. Again she haunts me. She is the Psyche and the Sophia, my Helen and my harlot. She is the love of my life, my passion, my secret. She is the one I may be called upon to die for, and it is justice, since she is the one that I live for. She is my sister, my brother, my mother, and my child. She is the one I love above all others. She is the flame that burns within my soul, and the ice that chills my heart to the very bone. She is the miracle, the magic, and the madness of my life and love. She is Lilith, the raven and the rainbow, the night and the day. She is the sunshine within my darkness and the voice within my wilderness, the poem and the pearl. She is the pain and the pleasure that torments me. I see her eyes in the stars and hear her laughter in the wind. I see her face in the clouds and her smile in the shadows. Every fiber of my body cries out, I love, I adore, and I worship you. Without her, I cease to exist, and although my heart still beats within my breast, it makes naught but a hollow sound within a hollow universe. My house, my home, my heart, my life, and my cup are all empty without her. I beg, I plead, I implore, I beseech all the gods of heaven and hell to fill my cup, that it may runneth over, and that she may be abundant in my life. I see the face of the Muse and hear the laughter of fallen angels, a choir of all that is unholy. The earth and the essence of the universe open up before me, and the mask of the Muse dances like so many sugar-plum fairies within my mind. Color is but a frequency within our reality, and the rainbow combined is black, while diffused it is light. What matters the color of passion or pain when divinity is at hand? Red bespeaks passion, while white softly whispers purity and submission. Color me curious, then toss my salad and season to taste. What mix of madness shall beset me this night? What nightmares shall haunt my dreams? Something wicked that way walks towards her, and there is nothing I can do about it. I cry out a warning, but she does not listen, for she is laughing too loud at the clown beneath the tree. She does not see the tears or the fears. She revels in wild abandon as the fool juggles and cries, knowing all too well her fate. Softly, softly, catchy monkey. The pain is too great. The tears burn his eyes. He drops the clubs. He lays down. He dies. She laughs unknowingly, for something wicked that way walks. It stands in her shadow, watching and waiting. I sit in the darkest dead of night, contemplating pomegranates and pineapples, friendship and life, while she lay in a stupor being taken by nameless and faceless men. Is this to be our cruel destiny? Can the cosmic be so very, very vicious as to allow this? Does love not carry any weight in the march of time and tide? In the end, will all this be, as Shakespeare predicted, nothing more than a tale told by an idiot? Can any man, could any man, sit quietly by, waxing and waning philosophic, as one that he worships lies wanton and willing in the pit of Poseidon? I despise all around her, the fishmonger, the firefly, the baboon, and the bulimic, each taking her again and again, but never giving. If only they would return to the sea, to the sky, to the jungle, and to the pantry, then perhaps she might be free and return again unto me. Lilith. Forever in the darkness she roams, she who stoops to conquer, she who bends to break all that stand around her. How the mighty have fallen! I kneel before her, longing for her touch, begging for a glance from her eyes. I have become a hollow man, for she has inhaled my soul and consumed my very spirit. Why does not nature rush to fill this void, this cavity, this shell that now stands empty within the universe? Why do not the flames of despair consume me? I long to be complete. I hunger to be whole. I thirst for her. I hunger for her. Let the moon and stars weep or laugh as I wither and die for her indifference. My sun-bleached carcass, though decades pass, will still in the night cry out her name, Lilith. Thank you for taking the time. You have been listening to Lilith in the Pit of Poseidon, an audio blog CD by T. Crawford Crawford. The epilogue, a word from the author. I cannot refer to it as crimson and clover over and over, or even parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. I can only define the moment in terms of pumpkin seeds and daffodils. I have no idea what cosmic thread connects me to those things, but something, or rather someone, has drawn me into the vision. Perhaps it is simply the cycle of life, that which has passed, that which is, and that which will be. How simple it all becomes in a dream. Perhaps we all need to stand in a field of daffodils holding a handful of pumpkin seeds. Perhaps we all need to stand there looking into the eyes of a beautiful woman. In the end, however, it is still her that I love. In my dreams, it is still her that I see. When I look at the sky at night, I see her eyes, I see her smile, and as the wind blows through the trees, I hear the last words that she said to me.
Go f*** yourself. Go f*** yourself. Go out and f*** yourself. Though you achieved a goal, you're a certified asshole. So please go out and f*** yourself. Ooh, go f*** yourself. Go f*** yourself. Go out and f***ing
Again, you have been listening to Lilith in the Pit of Poseidon, an audio blog by T. Crawford Crawford. I would like to thank all of those wonderful women who in my life have worn the mask of the Muse. Most of all, I would like to thank Lilith for being in my life. The music you heard at the end of the story was indeed written and performed by Lilith.